Mackenzie Salou, ball girl from Monessen Flores. Welcome to Inside the League. It's playoff time. Take it away, Daddy and Jose.
Thank you for the wonderful intro, wonderful daughter of mine, Kenzie Salou. Welcome, everybody, to episode 6 of Inside the League. I am Mon Valley Independent Sports Editor Jeremy Salou.
And I am Mon Valley Independent Assistant Sports Editor Jose Negron. And it is playoff time, Jeremy.
It is playoff time, and it is playoff week. We got exciting matchups Monday in the girls' division, Tuesday in the boys' division, Championship Wednesday, and Championship Thursday. I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. This is always the most exciting week of the summer. So, I'm excited to see who takes advantage of the opportunity and who ends up hoisting that trophy at the end of the year. At the end of the week.
That's a good word.
Hoist.
I like hoist the trophy. So let's just real quick, let's recap the boys' game. We're going to do things a little different. We're not even going to go through all 3 games because there's only really one game out of all how many games? 12 games that were played last week. Only one game really mattered and affected the standings and the playoff seedings.
Yeah, and it was that Campy's Pizza Howard Hanna game in the boys division on Thursday. Campy's needed a victory after Elite Physical Therapy lost to Farmers Insurance in Game 2 of the triple header. Campy's comes away with a 73-65 win over a shorthanded Howard Hanna team.
Shorthanded, and I guess we have to kind of lay off of head coach Naz Victoria for a little while because he did again get into the playoffs with his Campy's Pizza team.
Yeah, and honestly, probably their best performance of the year. 5 guys in double figures. Brandon Patterson from Wash High led the way with 17 points. Will Wagner from Charleroi with 15. Nico Pugliano with a season-high 12 points. I believe he had 8 rebounds as well. Just probably one of his best performances of the summer, and then Eli Teslovich and Demetrius Butler each with 10. Campy's had a 15-point lead at halftime, but then saw that shrink a little bit there in the second half.
Continue taking me through it because I'm on vacation.
Yeah, you were on vacation. I took over as the interim sports editor, I guess.
Interim.
Keandre DeShields from Laurel Highlands, a huge game, 34 points. I mean, he was just draining threes, was huge for assistant coach John White, who was on the sidelines for Howard Hanna in their regular season finale. Mekhi Valentine with 16 points and Isaiah Mosley with 14.
I don't want to cut you off real quick before we get to the final records, but can we just talk about how Laurel Highlands may not lose a game next year?
It's really hard to say they will when 3 of the best players in the summer league are on their high school team.
On their roster, yes.
With Keandre DeShields, of course, Rodney Gallagher, the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft, and the league's leading scorer, and then Caleb Palumbo, from Farmers Insurance, who's had a huge season for them.
For sure. So that took us in. Combined with Farmers Insurance beating Elite Physical Therapy 77-51 that same night, that allowed Campy's Pizza to jump into the lead. I know there were some tiebreakers that came into play, but Campy sneaks into that Final Four spot, and we got some good matchups. And after I talked to head coach Dan Zacek on Tuesday, he said we might not want to play Campy's again in the playoffs. Well, guess what, Coach? That's who you're going to see in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, and we've talked about it the last few years. They've played each other in the playoffs pretty often. So
yes.
The players might be different, but these 2 teams are familiar with one another. It's going to be a good matchup. I know that Naz Victoria said that his team wants Farmers again. Losses of only 3 and 8 points during the regular season. So Campy's has played Farmers probably just as close as any other team in this league. So it should be an interesting one. But when Farmers gets those guys there, as long as they have
they got to get their guys.
As long as they have their top players, I don't really know if there's any stopping them.
I believe the total for overall, just looking at the matchups, it will be Farmers and Campy's in the opening game on Tuesday, and then B Graphics and Howard Hanna in that second game. Of course, winners meeting Thursday for the championship. I believe at 8 o'clock, I think, is championship games. But yeah, it's going to be really exciting. Campy's, like you mentioned, always plays Farmers really close. And it's kind of fun this year, especially to watch Farmers, Devin Whitlock, kind of go back and forth with Victoria a couple times on the sidelines. That's one kid who's definitely having fun this year in the Summer League. But, 1-4, seriously, all 4 of these teams can beat one another. And, the other matchup, B Graphics and Howard Hanna, B Graphics slips into the 2 seed just because of tiebreakers with Farmers with 2 head-to-head wins. But that B Graphics Howard Hanna game, that's not going to be an easy game for B Graphics. And Howard Hanna played them really close. And again, it's the same thing. If Howard Hanna gets their whole team there, they're going to be very hard to beat.
Yeah, all season long, Howard Hanna has had the luxury of having a lot of guys and having some nice depth on the bench. And the last couple games, hasn't been the same. They've, whether it's kids being on vacation or whatever the case may be. But I mean, these two teams went to overtime in both regular season matchups. Right. The second matchup, they combined for only 3 points in overtime. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see another overtime game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close game. It's going to be close at the end. So, but that's what we want. That's what we want to see. from these teams. I mean, these are two teams that were tied for first place coming into this past week, the last week of the regular season. So it should be interesting to see who comes out in that matchup.
And then, I mean, we talk about it, just looking at the records. Farmers obviously is 8-2. They could be 10-0 if they had all their players there, because even in the goof around games, they still won those games. But yeah, I mean, Campy's Pizza, they're 4-6 with. I mean, their 4 wins, they might have came from teams lower in the standings, but they played every game tough. Yeah. So, I mean, you have to give it up to them for fighting their way into the playoffs, and those are usually the most dangerous teams. Farmers Insurance can't get complacent. And when you look at B Graphics, the last couple of games they have had their whole cast of characters there, and I mean, I see again on Thursday, Union Cleaners played them pretty tough. It was a close game till late, but I mean, we mentioned Howard Hanna. I mean, they get everybody there. They get contributions from everybody. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a fun game to watch, too. And I know that's one team that I know Coach Tim Tyree, really gets a good gauge of his team. I mean, because it's such an even matchup.
Right. And I think coming into this summer, we knew that this was going to – we knew that every team had that balance.
Right.
Every team has a star player. Every team, is competitive. Whether they're, on the losing end or the winning end, it's competitive matchups every single night.
Well, I mean, Union Cleaners, I mean, unfortunately for Coach Kovac, they didn't win a game, but they were in every game. Yeah. Maybe I think there was one game that was really out of game. I don't think they were in every game.
I don't think any team went into a matchup with Union Cleaners and just marked a win off.
Right.
Because you can't do that even with a team, that couldn't get a win. They still were competitive every single night. They had guys who were out there in a position to win a game. So, there are no days off for any of these teams. And you even mentioned Campy's. I think 4 of their 6 losses, if I'm not mistaken, have been by less than 4 points.
Right.
So, they've been in every game, and I think that, it's really going to be a fun week of games to see, who gets into that championship game. Because it's easy to say it might be the top 2 seeds, but, I don't think that Howard Hanna and Campy's Pizza are going to let that slide.
No matter what, whoever comes out of Tuesday and gets into Thursday's championship game, it's going to be a great game.
Yes.
That's why we're urging everybody, come to the gym, watch these kids play, watch this league, see what it has become. I mean, that's part of the, like we said, part of the reason why the league moved from outdoors in California to Elizabeth is we are more centralized for a whole big pool of talent that has been on display here for like the last 7 weeks now that we were delayed. But yeah, I mean, come to the gym,
Fans
you're going to get a show.
Yeah.
Fans are allowed. We will also be live broadcasting for those not in attendance. Again, coaches, you want to come, you're in for free. Just let us know. DM us at MVI_sports on Twitter. We got a VIP pass ready for you.
Also email us at sports@yourmvi.com.
Right, and just let us know, and we'll get that taken care of for you, because we want you to have a chance. I know the options have been kind of slim pickings here in the summer that, you might not get to watch all your players play. So this is definitely a way to do it against great competition.
And it's an opportunity for coaches to see how much their players have improved throughout the summer.
Right, for sure.
And show you that, this summer league is competitive. That's a huge reason for having it, but also the main reason is for these kids to have an opportunity to improve playing against different competition, playing with different teammates, and be better once, the fall sport or the winter sports season comes around, and they take the court for their high school teams.
Absolutely, and we'll be on the broadcast for Monday and Tuesday. Hopefully, I know Tuesday we definitely have some special guests joining us. Head coach Tim Tyree from B Graphics will be broadcasting the first game, and Kevin Kovac again will be on the mic for the second game. We'll work out who's going to do what for us. But But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the boys league winding down. All the games have been great. I'm just ready to wrap it up and get ready.
Yeah, it's been a long summer, but it's been a very fun one for us. Whether we were, on the mics broadcasting games for the first time, or putting together our game stories for each edition of the Mon Valley Independent. So we're very thankful for what we've been able to do this summer, and we're excited to wrap it up.
Absolutely. And you could catch, I know Jose is going to work on a column for tomorrow, kind of capsulizing all the playoff matchups and stuff. So check that out tomorrow. I'm going to try to enjoy my last day of vacation. But yeah, that'll wrap it up for the boys week. We're going to take a quick look at the top photos of the week shot by Jen Caudalupi and Ben Bamford, and we'll come right back.
Thank you to Jen Caudalupi and Ben Bamford for their efforts last week. And Jeremy, before we unveil our Mon Valley Independent Summer Basketball League Girls All-Stars, let's preview the upcoming playoff matchups we have this week.
Yeah, we don't really need to look at the games from last week because they were all inconsequential.
Yeah.
But the final seedings, I mean, they turned out AMD 10-0, gets a 1 seed. They're going to play number 4 seed Lee Supply. What do you see in that game?
Yeah, well, it's the same matchup we just saw on, Wednesday?
Yep.
This is a matchup that has been kind of dominated by AMD all year, but AMD has really dominated everybody all year.
They have.
So it's going to be really, really tough for Lee Supply to match up in this game, especially without Gracie Fairman. We know that she was in a walking boot this past week and did not play. So without her, I mean, it's going to kind of fall on the arms of, Jenna Dawson and Jasmine Fisher to kind of lead the way offensively. They're going to need Abby Whaley to rebound well inside. The matchup with her and Bailey Brinson is going to be really interesting, I think.
For sure.
But it's really all about, I think, just stopping Kaylin Vienick and Eden Williamson from really doing anything offensively. But at the same time, AMD is a really good defensive team, too. So it's going to be very, very tough for Lee Supply. I think AMD is going to, go away with this one.
For me, the big thing is, like you mentioned, without Fairman, I mean, Jasmine Fisher has been great. Jenna Dawson's been great, especially the last couple games. Dawson's come on in Fairman's absence, but AMD just has way too much. Yeah. I mean, and if it's not Kaylin Vienick and it's not Eden Williamson, it's Olivia Cox or it's Taysa Troxler-Scott or it's Bailey Brinson. There's so much balance there. Yeah. That they're just really so hard to defend because you can't pick out one girl and say, we're going to take this player away.
Right.
I mean, it's hard enough trying to pick if you're going to take away Kaylin Vienick or you're going to take away Eden Williamson because the other one's going to go off on you. So right. I tend to agree. I think this, unfortunately for Lee Supply and head coach Caitlin Slagus, they started out really great this year. I think, 3-0? They had a 3-0 start and then, 1-6 in their last 7 games. Yeah. I have to agree. I kind of think AMD is kind of just going to, I don't want to say cakewalk, but I mean, I pull away late in the second half. They have to shoot free throws better.
Right.
I know Coach Rathway's talked about that all year. Close to 50% last
Close
game.
Close to 50%.
I just don't think they're going to have a problem. But they can't get caught looking ahead because Caitlin Slagus is a good enough coach to get her team ready to play this game. And, you know, if Fisher starts hitting a couple threes early and Dawson hits a couple threes, you know, it could be a close game for a while.
Yeah, I think a big key here is going to be Farrah Reeder from AMD.
Yes.
Because if you shut down, you know, Phoenix going to get her points. You know, I know that she struggled not this past week, but the week before. I think she only had like 17 combined points in 2 games. But she really was able to, I think, get more confident this week and you know, have a good week to end the regular season. But I think Farrah Reeder had 12 points there in the season finale. I think she was only one of 2 players in double figures. But if she can get going and she can hit threes, she can score inside.
Right.
If she can do that and provide some you know, double digit scoring, you know, Eden Williamson can, you know, focus on a defensive play and not really have to worry about
just rebounding.
Yeah. Not really have to worry about taking on the load of scoring, you know, 15, 20 points. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So if Farrah can, you know, add to that offense, you know, I think AMD will be okay.
Yeah, it's just really tough that, you know, AMD, I mean, you mentioned Reeder. I mean, she's brought into that jump shot. Mm-hmm. She's brought that into her game and it's made her more of a complete player. And, you know, while she doesn't do a lot of scoring early on the season, she's still getting tips. She's still getting in the passing lane. She's still playing great defense. And ultimately, that's what it's going to come down to in this game is AMD's defense. And can Lisa Ply, without Fairman, one of their primary ball handlers, can they break that pressure? They didn't do it on Wednesday. They're going to have to do it in this game just to keep it close,
right,
let alone win.
And we mentioned time and time again, AMD can outscore you if they have to. If they give up, you know, 45, 50 points, they can score 60 on you. But if they have an off night offensively, they can rely on their defense to get a key win too.
Yeah, for sure. And looking at the other matchup, the late game on Monday will be 8-2 State Farm against number 3 seed Monessen Forest. Close game on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. I got a different aspect of it. I was on the bench for Coach Corrado. Nice to get back in the coaching ranks again, you know, a little bit. But it was a close game throughout, and State Farm pulled away late. I think this game's going to be close.
I think
really
it will too. Yeah, I think these teams are pretty evenly matched. You know, you look at guard play. I think the key here, I think, is going to be the play of Hannah Pugliese inside.
Yes.
If Monessen Forest can, you know, incorporate her into the offense more, and she's able to, you know, explode for maybe a 20-point game or something like that, that's going to be huge, you know, and you know that Emily Vienick's going to pitch in offensively. You know that, you know, girls like Macy Justice and, you know, Boots the Younger are going to get their points. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. But at the same time, you know, State Farm, we talk about their experience a lot. Right. We talk about, you know, them playing in big games. You know, they've been here before, even though they do have some new players. You know, but the young players that they've added, you know, players like Ella Kupka, even a veteran player like Lydia Zogelman. I mean, these are girls that have really made this team what it is at this point in the season, 8-2 to end the regular season. So it'll be an interesting matchup. I know Monessen Forest wants this one. They want it bad. So, you know, we'll see who gets the upper hand.
Right. And that's one of the things I know you mentioned Hannah Pugliese, but I know she had, I think, 12 points and 8 rebounds, so it's not like she played bad in that other game. But State Farm knew her weakness. She gave her weakness in the story for Monday's game, but she's going to work around it. And, you know, Coach Corrado and I kind of try to show her a couple different things, a way she could try to free herself up, and hopefully it works out. But yeah, I mean, the way that team's going to go is Emily Vienick goes. She's the senior leader of that team with all those freshmen, and they were missing Boots the Younger in that game, and she's a lockdown defender, and she can add, you know, 8, 10, 12 points. So it could be a different game. You know, I mean, you never know. And I mean, there's always a thing, you know, who's going to show up. I mean, some girls might be on vacation, because you remember these championships are a week later than they were supposed to be, so teams might have girls on vacation. Right. You never know. But yeah, I look for another game, and, you know, with Coach Corrado on the bench, it's like mental warfare. You know, he's in everybody's heads.
Yep. He's even in our heads.
Yeah, he is. He's in our heads today, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be another close game. I'm really looking forward to it. And, you know, I got to say, the last couple games, Stelany Luchin for Monessen Flores has played like a top pick.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not, her stats aren't going to overwhelm you, but she has stats in every category. She's scoring more now. She's more confident with her shot. She's getting rebounds. She's playing long. That's one of the things I told her on the bench is play long, get those arms out wide, get in the passing lanes. And she really played well the last couple games for Monessen Flores. So, that one, I mean, the records, it's a 3-game difference in the records, but I think that one's, I don't want to say a flip of the coin because obviously State Farm's the favorite. I mean, they've been there. They were your pick to win the league again this year. I mean, they're there for a reason. They're looking to go to their 3rd straight championship game. They're well coached. They're well, fundamentally sound. And when you add a player like Kupka to it who has really come on in the last 6 games of the season, they're going to be tough to beat.
Right, and they're not going to overlook Monessen Flores at all.
No.
I mean, they know what to expect from this team. They know this is a team that throughout the whole season has improved from day one.
Absolutely.
I think anyone would agree with that. So, in a sense, it might kind of be a flip of the coin. This is going to be a game that's not going to be a 10-point game with 2 minutes to go in the second half. This is going to be a game that's going to come down to the last possession. Each team is going to have to take advantage of offensive opportunities, chances at the free throw line. I think that's going to be key as well. So this is without question going to be the game of the night.
Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting, and it's not going to be Chuck Fest, as Coach Corrado called it, where we're just all about shooting threes. The biggest thing is for Monessen Flores, they're there, they're having fun. That's the whole point of the league. Mm-hmm. Some people take it so seriously that, come on, it's summer league. We still want to have fun. We still want to have the close competitive games, but in the end, everybody's here to get better.
Right.
So Monessen Flores is that team that has gotten better throughout the whole season.
And I think every team has been really good with knowing that, it is a competition. Everybody wants to win, but, the focus is for these girls to improve and for them to go back to their high school teams better players.
Right, for sure. And again, all you high school coaches out there from, Brentwood all the way down to Charleroi, Monessen, come out, watch your teams. Watch your players play and see how they've improved. Again, send us a message. Say you want to come. You have our phone numbers. You could text us, DM us on Twitter. We'll get you in for free. Come watch these girls play. The girls' league has never been as competitive as it has been. So we're really proud of that. Coach Corrado and Tommy Rodriguez as co-commissioners have done a great job. I know I've helped fill in there, to break some ties, stuff like that. It's playing kind of an administrative role because, with a little girl, I have a passion for the girls' sports now in the girls' league. And, this is something I can't wait for my daughter to get able to do. I was glad to have her on the bench, last week as the official manager of the Monessen Flores team, and she'll be there again Monday, so I know she's excited to do that. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun night Monday night, and we'll see who gets through to Wednesday's championship.
Right, and as we said a little bit before, we have obviously the end of the season. We had Chad Corrado send out some ballots for our all-star voting, as the former Greb League did. The former Greb League did back in the day. So we are going to announce our second team all-stars, and then our first team all-stars, and our league MVP here live on Inside the League.
Yeah. So we will have. I will have you do the second team. I will do the first team, and then I have a little spiel about the player of the year, and we'll announce that.
Right.
Without further ado, who do we have for the second team All-Stars?
And just a side note, too, that we will go have our league leaders for scoring in tomorrow's edition of the Mon Valley Independent, so be sure to check that out. But without further ado, like you said, Jeremy, our second team All-Stars in the inaugural season of the Mon Valley Independent Summer Basketball League Girls Division, starting with AMD Industries' Bailey Brinson. We have Dax Thomas State Farms' Emma Cito, Dax Thomas State Farms' Ella Kupka, Monessen Flores' Emily Vienick, and Lisa Ply's Gracie Fairman.
Right, and that'll bring us to our first team group. Cedar Brook's Katie Hoff from Our Lady of Sacred Heart. Monessen Flores, Hannah Pugliese, freshman. She's on there. Alyssa Clutter, the top overall pick, comes through with a first-team performance from Edward Jones. AMD is Eden Williamson, and AMD is Kaylin Vienick.
Yeah, and one of those is actually our most valuable player, I believe, too, right, Jeremy?
I believe so. First, we have to give a shout-out to Coach Corrado for this. The Mon Valley Independent Summer Basketball League Girls Player of the Year Award has a new name.
Mm-hmm.
Melanie Greco. Her name is attached to the award now. It is now the Melanie Greco Player of the Year Award. Obviously, Melanie we're very close with. She's like a second mom to us, third or fourth mom for me. I don't know. But yeah, we wanted to honor her for all her hard work in starting the former Greb League in the girls division. She's 8 years. She put in her time. Not finally step aside, because we never want to see her step aside. She brought so much to it. But yeah, it's the Melanie Greco Player of the Year Award. It's well deserved. Mm-hmm. And the player who will be receiving that award is none other than a player that Melanie Greco helped bring into this league years ago.
Yep.
It's AMD Industries' Kaylin Vienick. Right. So congratulations to Kaylin. Very well deserved. And all I'm going to say about the award winner is she is what makes AMD go. That is the whole point of the award. There were honestly, earlier on I thought, that's something Williamson could win. It's something Pugliese could have won. All the girls, honestly, on the first team could have taken home this award.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at the leading scorers, all 5 of them are first-team selections. Vienick, led the league in scoring this year, 2 points ahead of Alyssa Clutter from Edward Jones. But just so much talent here. But Vienick, I know that both of us gave our votes to her, but she just, like you said, she made AMD go all season long, and Eden Williamson was right there too, but Vienick has really kind of led the way for AMD, not just this year, but over the last few years.
Yes.
Even on a team that had Bella Scoble and Ashley Godone, last year, Kaylin was able to still lead the way this year too, so very deserving of this award.
We'll break down how the votes worked. What we did is all the coaches got a vote, so that's 6 teams represented, and Jose and myself also got a vote, made 8, and it was interesting. We actually did have a tie. We went to the commissioners and myself, majority rule there, but I mean, looking at the votes, we were all in favor of the person that ended up making the squad. These weren't easy decisions.
No.
Just looking at the second team, you could have thrown Kupka up in the first team for sure. I believe on my ballot I had Emma Cito up there because while there weren't outstanding stats, it's just her consistency year wide with the points and the rebounds. She just performed every game. But yeah, there was a lot that could have been, flip-flops. Mm-hmm. There's some girls that didn't make either of the teams that could have been in the second team at least. So it wasn't easy.
No, not at all.
To pick these. So looking at how the votes went, I will steal this from you.
Yeah.
Clutter, the first team, she got first team votes from everybody. Eden Williamson, same way. The top 5 are pretty much set.
Mm-hmm.
Katie Hoff received 5 first team votes, and let me see here. I think 2 second team votes. We have votes for Troxler Scott from AMD. Chloe Portatch received a vote. Gracie Fairman had 3 second team votes. Or 3 first team votes. So the way it turned out the way it should have turned out, I believe,
mm-hmm.
for the first team. So The second team was more of a crapshoot. There's probably, I'd say that team could have been made up of 10 players.
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
least.
This is probably the hardest decision in this league. In the past, really, for
right.
a summer basketball league. We've talked so many times about how much talent there is and how much more talent has been infused into this league. You look at the first teamers. how many of these girls are new to the league.
Right.
All of them except for Caitlin Vienick.
Right.
And even the second team, the only ones that were returning are Emily Vienick and Emma Cito.
Right.
So these are all girls who are in their first year in this summer league and have made their impact felt. So and there are plenty of girls who weren't named All-Stars that very well could have been All-Stars.
Right.
They're have made huge impacts on their teams. So, definitely a tough decision for all of us to make. But, like we said, we had everyone involved. Everyone had a say in the matter. And, I think that these two teams are pretty solid.
Absolutely, and I'd put that first team up against any team in the WPIL.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if that was a starting five, it'd just be unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, to watch, and I can't wait to watch how players go from this league now into their winter sports season and watch them on a court. It's always great when like for us, not everybody plays our local team, so it's going to be great to see, or plays for one of our local teams. So when our local teams do play those teams, it'll be fun for them, not just to see a familiar face in us, but see a familiar face in them and get to talk to them and see how everything's going. So, it's been great for us, and we're looking forward to it. I don't know when we'll be announcing the Boys League All-Stars. I'm sure we'll get the ballots this week. That might be for next week's show. I don't know. It might be championship night. But yeah, I mean, biggest takeaway for me is it's going to be fun to watch this week, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun week of semifinal games Monday and Tuesday, and of course the championship games. Always a lot of fanfare surrounding those.
Absolutely.
I mean, in the past we've had a lot of fans there for that last game of the season, that to see who is able to lift that trophy at the end of the night.
Yeah, so that'll pretty much wrap it up. I just want to reiterate that we are open at Marx's Court Time Sports Center, so please come down, catch the playoff games, catch the championship games. All you coaches, come out, let us know. We'll get you in the door. You even have the VIP area, behind the benches. You could social distance, wear a mask. But yeah, we're really looking forward to it. Those of you that can't be there, join us for the live broadcast. We'll be there to take you along the way. Other than that,
yeah. I'm
That's
excited to get going this week, and little 3 words regarding fall sports. Let them play.
absolutely. That was going to be my last mention. Thank you to the PIAA, and thank you to all the parents. I know I sent an email to the PIAA. There's nothing more than we want to do is work in the fall and work covering games. So all you athletes out there know that we support you. We want you guys to play. We're actually getting ready to do our football tab and our soccer previews for this fall season. We look forward to seeing you guys on the field and getting to cover those. If we have to play without fans, who cares? Let's play.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing. So thank you to the PIAA for, at least postponing any decision for 2 weeks and at least attempting to work things out with the state administration. We know how that's all gone, but I'm going to keep politics out of this broadcast. So, join us this week at court time and get ready for some playoff hoops.
Yeah, thank you for watching Inside the League.
Thank you. Are you giving us the countdown? Okay. I'm getting loose.
Yeah, I'm getting loose.
Getting loose. That's
Ready.
good.
All right.
That's good.
I'm gonna enunciate. The
Enunciate.
Human Torch was denied a bank loan. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
I am the Human Torch.
Oh no!
God. Dude, I can't. That was the weakest technical in the history of technicals.
Yeah.
It's not like I threw a chair.
You didn't even throw a chair.
I'm officially boycotting Wendy's in Bel Vernon.
We still got them. We still got them. Let's go. That's the point. All right, Chelsea. You need to sit down. You're the assistant coach. My back hurts. foul on the bench. Coach, who's your shooter?
That's even cool. Hey, that's the lamest tech I've ever seen in my entire life.
Quiet on the set.
Oh boy. Ugh.
And remember, you're gonna say I'm sports editor Jeremy Sue, and I'll say I'm assistant sports editor, and I'll return to you.
You're the ass sports editor.
Hurts me.
Ready? Counting down.
Wait. And we're back. Great job, as always, by Jen Cottalupi and Ben Bamford for the photos. So, Jose, what we're going to do now is we are going to unleash upon the world the Greb League Girl Division All-Stars.
Grab League. Oh. Grab League.
Oh.
Start again.
And we're back. Great job, as always, by Great Job.
Great job.
Damn it.
God, dude.
Oh, man. Okay. All right.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
What are you laughing at? All the photos they give us this week. But, yeah. First, we're going to oh, shit. God damn it. I don't know. Vacation. All right, ready?
We never had this many mistakes in
Woo!
the whole the 5 episodes we did.
I could not stop laughing. I don't know why. It's just the entire time hearing you talk, it was just different.
All right.
All right, ready?
For real.
Here we go.
Hold on.
Get a hold of yourself, man.
Come on, man.
Ready?
Yeah.
3.
And we're back. Great job, as always, by Jen Cottalupi and Ben Bamford for all the great photos they took this week. So before we unleash upon the world the Mon Valley Independent Summer Basketball League Girls Division All-Stars, we're going to go back and take a look at last week's matchups. But no, we're not, because they didn't mean anything. So we're not going to do that. Shit.
Just do it, dude. Do it. Do it. Do it.
WTF, Jeremy.
All right.
Call Tony Carter in here and give me a T.
I got shit to do today.
All right. Just bring it back. Bring it back. You do it.
You want me to do it?
Yep, you do it.
All right.
I'm done. I'm done. I wish there was rum in this Coke.
All right, here we go. Ready?